Just a minute. When I begin to talk, a lot of times, like Vernon said, we have a good day, and then there comes the enemy to fight us, try to trouble us. I thought I'd like to keep my affections on the things that are above. That's right. There's a lot of things you can look at down here, and it'll cause you a lot of grief and a lot of heartache. But I thought if we can just look up and look to the Lord, I believe the Bible said all good gifts are good things that come from above. I thought I never got anything good from the Lord looking down, but I thought when I looked up and I looked to the Lord and I said, Lord, I need your help. I looked up and I found my help. It may sound funny, when we moved in, we had a little room and I made it into an office, and my prayer room, Josie's too, she wanted to use it anytime. And I thought in that prayer room, my mom's side of the family, they don't have hardly anything to do with the Lord. But my Mimo, she had a picture, and it was of the Lord, and that's the only thing she's ever given me that ever pertained to the Lord. And I put that picture up there on the closet, in the closet, had the hangers up there. I put it on top, and I thought she went in there. She said it scared her because she didn't know it was in there, just a big picture of Jesus in the closet. But I put it up there. I said, every time I ever get help from the Lord, I look up to Him. So I wanted to put Him up there. I thought there's times you just got to set Him up high above you and look to Him. Don't set Him down level with you. There's times we limit the help of God. Set Him up high and let Him be everything you need. And when you feel like your body's going against you, your mind. I've been there, I had turmoil many times, and I thought, Lord, how am I going to make it through this? But I thought He had a peace in which passeth all understanding. And He put it down in my heart, and He'll do it for you too. He'll help me and you to run this thing. He'll help me and you to make it. And I thought this morning we had such a good service at Tanyard. I thought He helped me so good. And I thought when I got up, I went home, I took a nap. And the enemy started coming at my mind. He said, you can't preach tonight. You don't feel like it. I didn't feel like it. And I thought I got here and I began to feel better. I looked up. David looked up to the hills. I had to look up, and I thought I began to feel better. I thought you come out feeling bad, just look up. You'll begin to feel better. You'll begin to see things get better. I've been there. It looked dark a lot of time, and you've got to look at the good things. The Bible said, think on the good things. You got to encourage yourself. I thought if you look at all the doom and gloom all the time, you'll be a miserable person. And I thought, I'm glad we ain't got to be a bunch of miserable people. Maybe it might have been Charlie or somebody talking about people having a sour face all the time. It ain't going to hurt me to smile and say we're saved. Be happy in our heart, knowing that we've got something that'll carry us over one day. I feel like preaching, let's finish the race. I thought this is the end of the revival, but it ain't the end of the race. We've got to finish the race. It will obtain a prize one day. I thought if we don't finish, you'll come short somewhere. You'll not get a robe and a crown. You'll get something less. Down here, they give the consolation prizes. There won't be a consolation. No. I thought there's just one prize. There won't be nothing less. A lot of people, they say, give my kids something, they just let them feel good. Yeah. I thought the Lord, He won't let you feel good if you ain't run the race well. He won't give you a consolation prize. It'll be heaven, or it'll be hell for me. And I thought I'd love to make heaven my home. I'd love to run it, and run it well. For so many times in this race of life, it's hard. It's hard to wake up some days and say, Lord, I'm going to run anyway. But I thought you get a heart and mind, you get a desire. And you say, Lord, I'm going to run no matter what comes. I thought you got to have that made up mind. It kept coming to me. So I'm like, all week, I got my foot on the rock and my mind's made up. I sing it a lot. If you don't have a made up mind, something will come. And like I preached earlier in the week, that enemy, he'll offer you a detour off the interstate. He'll offer you these things, and you'll not make it. You'll not make it to the end of the race. I thought if you have to crawl, you make sure you finish it. You make sure you do it well, for we just got one opportunity. I thought maybe I wrote it down somewhere. We just got one opportunity to do this thing right. This flesh is dying every day. It's getting closer. It's getting closer to death. And the Bible said life is as a vapor. Right. It appeareth for a while, And then I believe it says it's just gone. I thought you may feel like I've got time to do what I want to do. Time to live my life, and then I'll run later. I thought we ain't got time. You ain't got time to play around with your soul. You got to do it now. There have been times I thought, Lord, I got time. People, they'll tell me and Josie, you got plenty of time to have children. I think you don't know the Lord's coming back. You don't know when He's coming. I don't know when He's coming. But I love more than anything when I hear the trumpet sound. I don't know if I'll be here or if I'll be in the dirt. But I'd love to go down with a good heart, a pure heart before the Lord. For if we have anything less, He'll not take us.
That's true.
I thought it's God's will to take you.
Yeah, come on.
You ever had friends, thought maybe when I was younger and I got saved, a lot of my friends, they didn't want me around because I was different. And I thought they'd go on trips and they wouldn't ask me to go. And I get sad. I thought, I want to go with you. I thought there was a trip you're going to take one day. I thought He wants you to go. He won't say you don't fit Him. He won't say I don't want you coming. But He wants everybody to go with Him. He wants you to go on this trip. He's invited you. It's up to me and you.
Amen.
Up to me and you to take the invitation. I believe Charlie, he preached one time. I had never heard nobody preach this way. And I thought when Jesus came, they began to lay down their clothes, the leaves. He began to walk to Jerusalem. Said they expected Jesus to come in, be a great big thing. I thought He was the Son of Man, riding on colt. And He come in that day, and they didn't come. He didn't come the way they wanted, and they rejected Him. I thought He'll come the way He wants. He'll come His way. A lot of times we look for it to be this great big thing, but I thought He began to preach. He said, "Don't miss your invitation. Don't miss the Lord coming to give you an opportunity. Don't miss that opportunity to do it right." I thought me and Josie, we got people building us a concrete porch, and if they didn't do it right, I wouldn't pay them. If they didn't do it right, I'd say you done it wrong. That'll be the same way the Lord will do. If we build any other way, if we come in any other way, He'll say you done it wrong. You didn't do it the way I told you how. This book, it tells you how. It shows you how. Many times this flesh, it wants its own way. I've been there. It wants what it wants. And you've got to be willing to humble down. Say, Lord, I got to want what you want. Amen. I got to have your ways. For the Bible said His ways aren't your ways. Thoughts ain't your thoughts. I thought He'd be willing to help us finish. 1 Corinthians, the 9th chapter, 24th verse. Give me just a little bit of time and we'll get out of the way. Maybe if anybody else has anything. I thought I'm thankful of how good revival has been. I'm thankful for how He's helped us. I told, maybe talking to some last night, I said there are people come I've never met before in my life. And I thought I'm glad they came. I thought I'm glad people, I know people got help. But Lord help me too. I thought He'd been good to us. I thought I seen this, maybe people come and not to pick nobody out. Dad was talking about her, about Sister Ramona when she come and got in so good that night. I thought it made my heart happy. I thought there's times you know what people's going through, but you can't do nothing about it. It takes the Lord to make a change. And I thought if the Lord would help you, it's only help me in your hand. But it won't be in me, it won't be in Blackmont, the revival in, but when you get home, that enemy will say, revival's over, you didn't get what you wanted. Just go back to the Lord. Say, Lord, you told me you give me more. Go back to Him, and He'll give you the desires of your heart, not the fleshly things. I've seen Him give you the fleshly things, but He wants a spiritual. Amen. He wants them spiritual desires. Have you ever been there? I've been there. You want a new car. You want to do something. Have you ever been there and I need to do it more? Instead of saying I want a new car, Lord, give me a new experience. Give me more of you instead of more of the world. For He'll give you more. He'll not deny. He'll not deny you. But it said, 24th verse of the 9th chapter, 1 Corinthians, said, Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? Said, so run that ye may obtain. Said, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Said, now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown. Said, but we an incorruptible. I thought we're fighting for something you can't see, you can't touch it, but I thought we know it's up there. Many times I look up at them clouds, I think about heaven up there behind it. I think, Lord, I just want to make it. And I thought a lot of times they fight for things down here, they run, and they do their best. But I told them maybe a while back, when I was younger, we'd go to them fairs and things, and they'd have them games, and you'd want the prize. Have you ever been there? I thought I want to go fishing. I want something. I'd waste every bit of money I had on it, and then I thought I'd get it, and I'd forget about it. I'd forget about the prize I won, but I thought if we'll win that prize, you'll never forget about it. It'll never be something that'll slip out of your memory. You'll never put it in the closet and forget about it. But I thought you'll love it every day if you can just give her. If you can hear him say, well done. I thought if not, we'll be in trouble one day. But it said, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beeth the air, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. I thought if I tell you you've got to run and I don't run, I'm deceived in my heart. If I tell you you've got to live your best and I don't live my best, we've got to do the same. I thought you may see people that do different than you. What God taught you to do, just do what He lays in your charge. Don't pay attention to the others. It's your race, not another. You've got to run it for yourself. I went to church with Papa today. I thought I can't stand in judgment with him. All the good works he's done, I can't stand there for what he's done. But I'll stand there for what I've done. I'll stand there for the race I've run. I thought if you run well, He'll accept you. I believe He told one. He said, if thou doest good, then well. But if not, I thought He wants you to do your best. He wants you. He expects it. The Bible said, present our bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. Said it's just your reasonable service. And I thought it ain't nothing too hard when He lays these things at your charge, when He tells you what to do, big or small, you make sure you run. It said, I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I preach to others, I myself should be a castaway. I thought, have you ever been there when your flesh wanted to get up against you, wanted to rise up and tell you, you don't need to do this no more. You don't need to run no more. You can just slow down. But I thought, I've said it so many times, you cannot slow down. You can't do this and expect to make it. But I thought if we'll run, then we'll do everything. I thought we will cross that finish line. Amen. I thought, if you look around at everything, when I was younger, I played sports. I did, and maybe Lord He got me out of it. But I thought when I did, they'd run me, and I thought I looked around. Everybody else running, I wanted to try to beat them. But I thought when I looked around, I thought I began to slow down. I couldn't go as fast no more. I had to keep my eye on the finish line. You may say it sounds crazy, but if you look around, you'll begin to slow down. If you don't keep your eyes right on the finish line, there'll be something catch your attention, and it'll turn you backward. It'll get you going another way, but you got to keep your eyes set ahead, straight ahead. I believe Paul, he said, I forget the things which are behind. He said, I press forward. I've got to look forward. If you look forward, you'll find there's a prize at the end of it all. You'll find there's something there for you. But if you look around, you'd say, Lord, just let me slow down. You begin to get troubled in your heart. I believe when they run them marathons, I've watched them on videos. They have them water stations. I've told him many times. They don't stop and get them a drink of water. They pick that water up and they keep on running. I thought sometimes God will give you strength. That don't mean you can stop running. That don't mean you can slow down, but it means you got to keep on. You got to run, and you got to run well. Thought if I could tell you anything, just run, run, run. For there's an enemy behind me and you. He'd like you to feel like he's going to take you down. I thought it's the will of God that we make it. Got one more place to go. Instead of Acts, the 26th chapter. 26th chapter, the first verse, and then we're going to skip to the end of it. This is what I feel like to read. It said, 26th chapter, first verse, said, Then Agrippa said unto Paul, said, Thou art permitted to speak for thyself. Said, Then Paul stretched forth the hand and answered for himself. Said, I think myself happy, King Agrippa, because I shall answer for myself this day before thee, touching all things whereof I am accused of the Jews. Said, especially because I know thee to be expert in all customs and questions which are among the Jews. Said, Wherefore I beseech thee to hear me patiently. I thought we were going to go to the 25th chapter. I thought he began to talk. King Agrippa. He said, I know you know. I know you know what I'm talking about. Have you ever been there? You seen people, they knew what the Lord was telling them to do, but they wasn't willing to listen. I thought you got to be willing. I believe the Bible said that you have an ear. Let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. I thought you got to have an ear that's willing to listen, willing to pay attention, and you can run well. But it said in the 25th verse, said, I thought they began to say he was mad. He said he was crazy. But it said, But he said, I am not mad, most noble Festus, but speak forth the words of truth and soberness. Said, For the king knoweth of these things. Said, Before whom also I speak freely. Said, For I am persuaded that none of these things are hidden from him. For this thing was not done in a corner. He began to tell him he ain't done. He done knew these things. I thought we know what the Lord requires. Yes, what he wants. We know these things. He ain't hid it from you. I thought he ain't made it a mystery. But I thought he made it that anybody could have a way. Have a way to eternal life. He said, I'm persuaded none of these things are hidden from him. I'm persuaded everybody in here knows something about the Lord. Knows that we've got to run a race and we've got to run well. Knows these things. He began to tell him, said, King Agrippa, believest thou the prophets? Said, I know that thou believest. Said, Then Agrippa said unto Paul, Almost thou persuadest me to be a Christian. Said, And Paul said, I would to God that not only thou, but also all that hear me this day were both almost and altogether such as I am, except these bonds. I began to tell him, almost I do this. Have you ever almost done something? I've been there, I almost done a lot of things, but I don't want to almost run this race. I want to do it right. I want to run it well. For if we'll run it well, we'll get a prize after a while. Woo! He'll not accept it, not reject us, but he'll help me and you. It will run well. I thought he will do these things that he tells us to do. I thought we'll get a prize. He said almost. Have you ever seen, I've been there. I preached one time, don't be an almost Christian. Don't be an almost Christian. Almost do everything. Do everything. Almost do all that he teach you to do. And I thought when you need him most, he would be there. He'll be there to help me and you. I can't tell you many things, but I know you can do it. That enemy like to tell us you can't run. You can't do these things. I've been there. He lied. A while back, he began to put it on my heart. Tell God's people he's a liar. That enemy's going to lie. He won't lie. He's going to tell you things. When you get up in the morning, he'll say you might as well not try. When you go to bed at night, he'll say you might as well give up. But you got to say to the devil, I'm going to serve the Lord. I believe Joshua, when everybody else, all the children of Israel, they wanted to go another way. He said, as for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. As for you, what's your choice? It said, choose this day whom you'll serve. Choose to run. Don't choose another life. He'll offer you many ways, many watered down things. He'll say you can make it any way. But if you don't run the way he's instructed you, you won't make it. I've seen them. The Lord showed them true holiness and what it meant to live holy. And they let down. And they said, I'm okay. It's a scary place to be. To say I'm okay. And your life don't show it. It don't match up. And I thought, while we can, let's run and obtain the prize. For if not, there'll be somebody. I believe the Bible said you didn't run the well, but who did hinder you? I thought it won't be me that hinders you. I thought I can't look to you and say, Charlotte hindered me from running my race well. It'll be me. You go look in the mirror, your number one problem. That's mine, it's me. You may say, Stephen, it don't make no sense. It'll be you that causes yourself to turn around. The Bible said, no man. Jesus, he was talking, he said, no man can pluck thee out of my Father's hand. No man can take you out. If you walk away, it's the only way you lose something. If you walk away, it's the only way you get off the racetrack. I'm afraid so many people are growing weary with the running. They're letting the enemy talk to them and they're stepping off the track. I thought there's a finish line out there. And if you will, just look to it and say, Lord, I've got to make it. I've got to cross it. Don't say, Lord, I've got to give up. Say, I've got to cross this line. For it's just right ahead. You can't see it, but it's there. It's closer now than it's ever been in your life. And now's not the time. Hallelujah, Lord. Now's not the time to give up in your heart. Now's not the time to lay down. Sit down and say, Lord, I'll try it later. You've got to try now. For if not, he'll catch you. He'll catch you sitting down. I've said it so many times this weekend, probably. Lord told him what to do. He's told us what to do. Yet he sat down, and there come the old devil. He's looking for him. He's looking for you. If you're not run well, he'll catch up to you, and he'll not play fair. He'll destroy you. He'll not spur. I thought my voice is leaving. It changes. I thought the power of God, it don't change. I thought it'll never fail you when you need it most. I've been there. I thought, Lord, I was younger. I got myself in trouble with the Lord. I messed up. I failed in something. Thought it hurt me in the body. It hurt me spiritually. And I remember laying there in that bed. And I was hurting. That enemy, he was bothering my mind. He said, might as well just give up. And I laid there and I began to cry. I thought, Lord, I don't want to quit. I thought, Lord, I don't want to give up now. I've come too far. You've come too far to turn back. You've come too far to say, Lord, I just want to give up. You just started yesterday. You made too much progress to turn back now. I sat there. I was so hurt in my heart because I couldn't understand. I thought when time went on, I understood and I had to stand. There's times you won't understand. Like the Lord spoke to me last night, I said, I won't understand. There's times I know I'm not going to understand. And I thought you got to look to the one that has understanding. You got to look to the one that knows. He knows this race, it'll get hard sometimes. He knows it's hard on your flesh, but he knows what you need. I thought maybe when I was younger, Mom and Dad, they'd raise me. They'd raise you like a mom and dad should. They'd tell you what was right and what was wrong. And every time they told me what was wrong, I guess you wanted to do it more. I thought, have you ever been there? You thought, why can't I do this? It ain't going to hurt me. I thought every time I guess it was just the flesh. It was being a child. It's the same way with the Lord when he tells you not to do something. I thought that flesh will want you to do it more. And I thought when he tells you what's good for you, it's for a reason. I thought he don't tell us these things for no purpose, but I thought there's a reason for everything. And he don't send out his word in vain. I thought that he tells you it's for a reason. And if you'll pay attention so many times, people, I've been there, I should have paid more heed, but people, they don't pay attention to what the Lord will tell them, not just through prophecy, but preaching, or even when he talks to their heart. They don't listen to them things, and they say it doesn't matter, but it's important you listen. Important you pay attention, for there's an enemy back there and he's trying to help you get away from him. He don't want you to be caught. I believe he said when he went and he found that one little lost lamb, he was more happy over that one than the 99 he had, because he loved you and he wants you. He wants you to finish. Right. When I was younger, people, I guess in sports, they'd encourage you. They say, do your best. I thought the Lord, he ain't a coach. He's a God. He's a God that wants you to do your very best. He wants you to run, and He wants you to run well. When I was younger, I guess in my class, we would play outside, and we'd play in the gym, and we'd try to race each other, see who's the fastest. I never was fast. I couldn't win first place, but I made sure that I finished every time. I tried to make sure that I finished. And I believe the Bible said the first will be last and the last will be first. It don't matter where you finish, just make sure you finish. It don't matter if you cross it first, but say, Lord, let me make it. And I thought if you see somebody on the racetrack that ain't running like they should, pick their hand up too and say, let's go together. I thought, don't let them draw you back, but give their hand and say, let's do it together. Let's encourage each other. If you see somebody, I believe the Bible said, talking about if you see somebody in need and you shut up your bowels of compassion. I thought, Lord, I want you to be that way. He wants you to have a heart like He's got. It's been willing to help you. Why would you not be willing to help somebody else? For we need one another. But it said, almost thou persuadest me to be a Christian. Don't almost run a race. Don't almost say, Lord, I've done almost everything. Just say, Lord, let me do it all together. Let me do everything. You may say, I'm doing my best. Keep doing your best and keep asking the Lord for more. He'll teach you what to do. That's what I had on my heart. I thought this is the end of revival, and I was just praying about how good it's been. It makes me sad. I thought how good He's been to us. He's helped us so much. And I thought everybody that came every night, it made me happy He was here. I was worried. I guess the enemy just fights in so many ways, but so many come and so many got help. And I thought it's God's will, even after this is over with, to keep helping you. I thought you'd take that. They say revival don't end when it's over. It's in your heart. What are you going to do with it? Right. What are you going to do? Are you going to add on? Or are you going to sit there and say, Lord, it's over with now? I thought everybody that done anything, I appreciate you. I'm young, but so many sucked, so many done many things. You come here, you clap your hands. I thank God for you. For we need one another. You can't have a revival with just one person. I thought the people here, I love you. When I started coming here, I'll sit down and say this. When I started coming, I told you the other night, there wasn't many that came, but I thought, well, something drew me here to come. When I was a child, I just felt the need to be here, and thought the Lord helped me to grow here. A lot of times, Kaywood's my home church, but I come here and I get help to stand and to grow. And I thought as time went on, I watched how people begin to get help, and I watched how the Lord began to work with the church, and I thank God. When He moved on me to have revival, you may say it sounds bad, but I thought, oh Lord, how am I going to do this? And I thought, how He helped me night by night. And He helped me so much tonight. He's been so good to us. He's been a friend to us. And I thought, just be willing. I know I preached a lot this week, but be willing to seek the face of God. Let Him show you what steps to take. There's an enemy out there. He does. He seeks after you. He looks at you in your life, and He wants you. But if you'll be willing to let the Lord guide your footsteps, you'll not make one mistake. Not one mistake. It could cost you your very life. I've seen many that made one, and it took them so far, Joe. The enemy does. He will stay you far away in the far country. He does. But I thought while we're fighting, don't forget who you're fighting for. Don't forget who you're seeking after. There'll be times you'll have to go through things, go through dry places. When the children of Israel got taken from Judah, they brought them down to Babylon. They said, sing us a song. They said, how can we sing a song in a strange land? We're in a strange land. We're not in a place called home. And I thought there's times you're going to have to work and it's going to get hard. But you've got to keep on singing. You've got to keep on praying and doing your best. For when you get over there, it won't be strange no more. It'll be home to me and you. It'll be a place you won't have to fight it no more. I told a Navy this morning, my mama, she ain't got to fight that battle with the flesh no more. When you get up there, you'll have to put off this old flesh, and you'll have peace in your soul. Don't forget why you started. We forget we started to go to heaven. We get used to fighting down here, and we say it's going to be this way forever. It's just temporary. he says, depart from me, you'll remember all the times the Lord come to you, said you better run away on. You'll remember them things. But I love you. You know I do. And I thank God for revival. It's been so good.
You preach so good. I just say one thing.
Come on,
1,000 years talking about it's getting over that, really. The fight would be worth it.
Yes.
I thought I tried to help there in the home.
Yeah.
And the Lord moved on. I had when Mom was sick, she'd come to church one night and we prayed for her, and the church, she gathered up and they prayed for her. And I thought when we was praying for her, I felt so good,
Yeah.
Steve. And in that moment, John, I felt like prophecy. I hadn't prophesied much, but I felt that. And I could hear that, Steve, that just maybe it said but a moment, or seemed as but a moment, some way like that. And I didn't do it. I didn't go ahead and move over and let it just come out. But in my mind, I thought, well, I think I'm saying Mom's just going to get healed. And that's what I was looking for. You know, I wanted Mom to be healed. She had such faith that God could do anything. And as I was getting ready, I can't remember where it's at. Maybe you all can, but it seems like it's the 5th chapter somewhere. But anyway, it's Paul. And I was reading that verse, and what I was going to preach led me to it. And it said, but for your light afflictions, it's for but a moment. Yeah. And when I read that, I said, Lord, that was them words you wanted me to speak to Mom that night. And I wasn't willing to do it, Charlotte, because I thought, well, it's hard to prophesy to family, and then it's hard. I didn't want to think, well, I'm thinking Mom's just going to get healed.
Yeah.
But what it was thinking, this that you're going through right now, it's just but a moment.
Yeah.
It's just going to be but a moment.
Yeah.
You're talking about that battle. If we can hold on, we can make it.
Yes, Lord.
And I told him at Poor Valley about it. I said, maybe at Poor Valley, I was preaching. You forgive me. But anyway, I said that at that time, if you ask Mom, she would say, Joseph, this is no light affliction that I'm going through. Cancer's horrible, you know. It's bad. But when you see the first light of that city, it would be so light. You know, it's just a light thing.
Yeah.
It's temporary down here. But I thought he preached so good. I thought he did. I thank God.
The altar. Come and get help from the Lord.